So the Caitlin Clark thing has taken over. The Caitlin Clark hashtag has absolutely taken over. And if we're being real, the Caitlin Clark hashtag is killing it. They are absolutely it's killing it. That from anywhere hashtag. Nike have done a really good job of this. And if you guys...
Nike isn't really in the shoe business. They're in the business of manufacturing moments that stick. And right now, we're watching the boldest, most relentless individual athlete marketing push the WNBA has ever seen. The From Anywhere campaign built around Caitlin Clark isn't just promoting a jumper. It's turning a basketball habit into a full-blown identity. Something bigger than a team, bigger than a league. And this is where it gets truly wild. That branding has become so powerful that other leagues are now pushing it for Nike. Unrivaled, a separate competing women's basketball league where Clark doesn't even play, recently shared promotional content for its Breeze team using Nike's From Anywhere hashtag. Let that sink in for a moment. A rival league is voluntarily boosting the signature shoe campaign of another league's biggest star. That's not normal marketing, that's cultural dominance.
The Unrivaled Breeze team. A team that has Paige Beckers on it, is promoting the hashtag. And if you guys think this is crazy, subscribe. Lads, we are trying to gain some subscribers. As you guys can see, we started off the month 56.2k. We've gone down and down and down. We went up for a few days, so 57.28k, and right back down. So we only lost 5 subscribers with the 14th, and then oh dear god no, oh dear god no. We were tied for a few days, then oh dear god, it's been a -12 today. If you guys could subscribe, be greatly appreciated.
Let's be clear about what's actually happening here. The Breeze Basketball Club and Unrivaled shared a post using the line, "Bree can pull up from anywhere," a phrase lifted straight from Nike's Caitlin Clark campaign language. That roster includes Kate Martin and Lexi Hull, both former Iowa teammates of Clark, along with Paige Beckers, whose on-court history with Caitlin has been anything but simple. This wasn't random, and it definitely wasn't accidental. What you're seeing is the reach of Nike's branding stretching so far that even teams and leagues with no direct incentive to promote Caitlin Clark are doing it organically. That's when a marketing campaign stops being about one athlete and starts becoming unavoidable. It's already bigger than Clark herself, bigger than the Indiana Fever, and it may be growing beyond the WNBA as a whole.
We've got here Breeze Basketball Club. Breeze can pull up from anywhere. They can pull up from anywhere. And it was like Cam Brink is obviously hitting the shot. So you see From Anywhere. Suddenly I feel like I make a shot from anywhere. Caitlin Clark logo everywhere. Thank you, Nike Basketball, for the fun surprise, with a huge thank you to Caitlin Clark for being a difference maker. Come on, Nike, please. Please just send someone in Ireland some. I'll promote you guys. Like, if not, I will be promoting.
This is where the genius of the strategy really shows. Nike didn't build this campaign around Caitlin Clark as a person. They built it around a weapon, deep range shooting. From Anywhere isn't saying Caitlin Clark is special. It's saying this way of playing basketball has changed the game, and that distinction matters. By attaching the brand to the skill, Nike opened the door for other players to tap into the moment without ever weakening Clark's position at the center of it. When Paige Beckers drills a logo 3 for the Breeze, and fans tag it From Anywhere, that doesn't steal from Caitlin's shine. It multiplies it. Each long-range bomb across women's basketball now quietly echoes Clark's influence and Nike's message. That's no longer just advertising. That's a style of play being claimed, owned, and absorbed into the culture.
But yeah, it's one of those things. But Breeze From Anywhere. Caitlin Clark shooting a Nike commercial outside. That's a funny one. But yeah, that, like, it is one of those things that someone said Nike does people to post their From Anywhere skills, plus Kate Martin and Cameron Brink are Caitlin's friends, so no harm here. Just think we're just sensitive for no reason. Paige Becker's Nike logo and Nike stuff.
Now zoom in on what's really happening online, because the data tells a more nuanced story. On TikTok, the Not From Anywhere tag is dominated by sponsored posts. Nike clearly poured serious money into influencer deals, paying creators to jump into the trend. Scroll long enough and the pattern is obvious. Paid partnership labels are everywhere. What hasn't happened at the same scale is true grassroots momentum. Everyday fans haven't flooded the platform with their own From Anywhere clips the way a genuinely viral movement usually does. And that gap matters. It highlights the difference between raw marketing power and real cultural energy. Nike can purchase reach and visibility. What it can't guarantee is organic buy-in. The campaign works, but it works because it's engineered, not because it caught fire on its own.
I'm sorry, that Paige Becker's book logo is the worst thing I've ever seen. And I know that it's a logo that Paige has had for a while. And I know she wants to make a Paige bucket and stuff, and it means something. It's fucking garbage. I remember I said it, and I was like, AJ Wilson's logo looks like a bottle opener. People were like, oh, you need to know the meaning about it. I don't care about the meaning about it. Like, it has great meaning. If AJ Wilson's happy with the logo, that's fine. Keep the logo the way it is. I'm not saying they need to listen to fucking Mick Curley. If she's happy with the logo, be happy with the logo. But it looks like a bottle opener.
Think about how Nike promotes its top male athletes. Take Damian Lillard's Logo Lillard campaign, which highlighted his deep shooting. That campaign largely stayed within NBA circles and among Trailblazers fans. Now, compare that to Caitlin Clark's From Anywhere campaign. It's playing on a completely different level. The fact that Unrivaled is posting about it shows just how far Nike's reach has gone. The campaign has seeped into basketball culture so deeply that even organizations with no financial stake in Clark see the value in linking themselves to it. This isn't just a sneaker promotion anymore, it's a full-blown cultural phenomenon. Nike isn't simply selling Clark's signature shots. They're elevating deep-range women's basketball into must-watch content, positioning Clark as the defining force behind that style. This is marketing, but on a scale that reshapes the sport's cultural landscape.
Now looking at a situation where it's like, okay, we're talking about, From Anywhere, shooting from deep, which is clearly something that Caitlin Clark does and is very good at. And we're looking at that being a factor and that being something we're talking about as a okay, now we're seeing it as a women's basketball thing From Anywhere. We're going to see it, and I'd be interested to see on TikTok what is the From Anywhere. And by the way, if you guys haven't followed Mick Hoops on TikTok, follow Mick Hoops on TikTok. We're actually doing well. Surprisingly enough, this is...
Now, let's talk about the obvious hot topic, the logo debate. Criticism of WNBA player logos has been loud, and it actually highlights a key lesson about athlete branding. In women's sports, A'ja Wilson's logo was slammed for looking generic. Paige Buchers' design got roasted online for resembling a trash can. And yes, every time she has a rough game, that meme potential explodes. These aren't minor issues. In today's social media driven world, a logo has to be instantly recognizable and resistant to ridicule. Caitlin Clark's Nike campaign avoids this problem entirely. Instead of a complicated visual logo, it leans on a simple, powerful phrase, "From Anywhere." That's brilliant branding. You can't mock a phrase the way you can mock a poorly designed symbol. Clark's campaign is defined linguistically as much as visually, a smart, resilient approach that makes her brand impossible to undermine.
Lethal Shooter apparently not paid partnership. Okay, so seen something. Man, Nike are paying everyone. Can you just? I don't need money. Just give me some Caitlin gear. Give me some Caitlin gear, Nike, and I'll happily take it. I can't buy it. It's gonna cost me 300 quid to get a t-shirt. I'm not paying that money. I don't have that money. But it is, in fairness, it is quite a lot of paid partnership. For the From Anywhere videos, a lot of it is paid partnership things. But there is also a lot more if you keep scrolling.
Here's how this shakes up the competitive scene. Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark have a well-documented rivalry stretching back to high school and college. They're not enemies, they lack the open hostility Clark has with Angel Reese. But make no mistake, they are fierce competitors. Right now, Nike is framing Clark as the undisputed face of deep-range shooting in women's basketball. Meanwhile, Bueckers competes in a league that's literally borrowing Clark's branded "from anywhere" language to promote itself. That's more than a marketing victory for Clark. It's a psychological advantage. Every time Unrivaled showcases Bueckers hitting a long-range shot tagged with "from anywhere," it reinforces that Clark defines the narrative. Bueckers is an elite talent, no doubt, but in this moment, she's operating entirely within Clark's branded universe.
They're still out there promoting the hashtag, they're promoting it, which is obviously relevant. Which means it's obviously still has some relevance in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, in general, it is it is what it is. It hopefully is going to continue to do well, and hopefully Caitlin Clark continues to kill it, because you can see obviously Kate Martin, Cam Brink, who are Caitlin's friends on the team, and as much as Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark aren't great friends, they don't dislike each other. It's very clear they don't. It's not like Caitlin and Angel Reese where it's clear they don't particularly like each other. It's clear that neither of them like each other. Paige Bueckers and Caitlin, there's a competitive rivalry there. I'm sure if they were on the same team that there'd be no issue with the two of them playing together at all at the end of the day. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think this means anything? Does this mean everything? Does this mean nothing? Does this mean something? In my opinion, it's kind of cool to see, even rival league teams promoting Caitlin Clark, because again, with how good Sabrina Ionescu's shoes been selling, if Caitlin Clark's shoe is anyway comparable, it's a good thing for the women's game to see them being comparable in terms of names to some of the biggest stars and up and coming stars in men's basketball. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below.
Let's break down what's really happening here and why it matters for the future of WNBA marketing. Nike's "From Anywhere" campaign is unlike anything we've seen before. This isn't just a typical athlete endorsement, it's cultural engineering. First, consider the scale. When a rival league with no financial ties to Caitlin Clark actively promotes her campaign language, it's proof the campaign has reached critical mass in basketball culture. Unrivaled gains nothing from highlighting Clark. She doesn't play there. Nike isn't paying them, and theoretically, they should be building their own stars. Yet the "from anywhere" branding is so synonymous with elite deep shooting that using it actually lends credibility to their own players. That's market penetration at an extraordinary level. Second, the strategy of branding a skill rather than just a player creates a self-reinforcing cycle. Every long-range shot in women's basketball now carries an implicit nod to Clark's signature style. When Sabrina Ionescu hits a logo 3, when Paige Bueckers drills a 30-footer, or when any player launches from deep, they're operating in a conceptual space Nike has defined as Clark's domain. This isn't mere advertising, it's reshaping how the sport is perceived and discussed. Third, the competitive implications are massive. Clark isn't just being positioned as an elite player, she's being framed as the player who defines an entire style of basketball. That's Michael Jordan level influence. That's Steph Curry territory. The WNBA has never seen a player with this level of branded identity tied to a specific skill. Aja Wilson may be the league's best, but she doesn't own a style. Angel Reese is a cultural phenomenon, but her game isn't marketed as revolutionary. Clark's deep shooting is being portrayed as transformative to the sport itself. Fourth, the logo conversation teaches an important lesson about athlete branding in the social media era. Logos have to be simple, memorable, and meme-resistant. Overly complicated designs get ridiculed, and symbols that resemble everyday objects become jokes. Clark's campaign sidesteps this entirely by relying on linguistic branding, "from anywhere." Instead of a visual logo, you can't mock a phrase the way you can mock a symbol. The messaging is sticky in a way visual logos rarely achieve. Fifth, the TikTok performance highlights the limits of manufactured virality. Nike clearly invested heavily in paid partnerships. The hashtag is flooded with sponsored content, but organic adoption hasn't exploded the way truly viral movements do. This is corporate-driven success, not grassroots culture taking taking hold. Nike bought attention and visibility, but they didn't create a self-sustaining wildfire of fan engagement. That distinction matters. Sixth, the campaign is changing how other athletes and organizations perceive WNBA star power. If Unrivaled promotes Clark without compensation, it signals her market value goes far beyond jersey sales or ticket revenue. She's now a cultural reference point, opening doors for unprecedented endorsement deals, media projects, and business partnerships. Clark is no longer just a player doing commercials. She's a brand that other brands want to be associated with. Seventh, the contrast with male athlete marketing is striking. Nike promotes plenty of NBA stars, but few campaigns reach outside the league to this degree. From Anywhere has penetrated culture on a level most NBA campaigns rarely touch. Some of that is strategic brilliance, some of it comes from the WNBA's smaller scale making it easier for one star to dominate the narrative, and some is pure transcendent talent from Clark herself. Finally, here's the uncomfortable question no one's asking. Is this kind of individual player branding healthy for the WNBA? On one hand, Clark's visibility draws attention to the league overall. A rising tide lifts all boats. On the other hand, when one star dominates the conversation, it can overshadow everyone else. The league needs multiple stars, not just one mega brand. If every WNBA discussion eventually circles back to Clark, that threatens competitive balance and narrative diversity. The From Anywhere campaign is a marketing masterstroke for Clark and Nike, but whether it benefits the league in the long term is an open question. Looking ahead, Nike will keep pushing the campaign. It works. Other brands will try to copy the strategy, though lightning rarely strikes twice. Clark will remain the most marketed athlete in WNBA history, with all the opportunities and pressures that entails. The campaign has already surpassed most WNBA marketing efforts in scope and impact. Now the question is whether it becomes a blueprint for athlete branding or remains a unique, unrepeatable moment. What do you think? Is Nike's dominance in WNBA marketing a boon for the league, or does it create an unhealthy imbalance where one player's brand overshadows everyone else? Drop your thoughts in the comments.